Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Real Reds Talk, the authentic football fan channel made in Manchester. This is your breaking news show, and boy, have we got a lot of stuff to dive into. Ivan Toney to Manchester United, Richard Arnold to be sacked, Amrabat, Lockhurst reporting some mad stuff about Amrabat, goalkeeper domino, interactive draft pick. We've got loads to discuss, and we also got Chivy and Strez alongside me. How are you doing, Chivy? Good?
All good.
Yeah, perfect. Shreyas?
Yeah, doing perfectly well. Really excited for the show.
Absolutely. That's what we like to see. Of course, lovely viewers, get involved, put your feet up, and let's talk the crazy roller coaster what is Manchester United. So we're going to kick things off with Ivan Toney. It's the latest kind of name in the transfer merry-go-round, if you will. Apparently, Manchester United are considering a move for Brentford striker Ivan Toney in January as Erik ten Hag wants another striker in. Now, the reports are coming from Trevor Paddock put this out this morning, and I was looking at the source. I was like, so one of the sources, Steve, just sounds like a made up name, Steve K9KS1TV, and that's from transfers.com. And it's been retweeted by Jack Talbot, who was, who was pretty solid on the Maguire news. So whether it has much kind of depth to it or not, Chivy probably doesn't think so. But we're here to discuss news that's being reported. So let's take it for what it is, Shreyas.
Yeah.
Would this be a player you would go and get in January?
I think the fact that he won't be. I don't think that he'll be a player for which we'll have to pay like 45 million or 50 million, that sort of money. I think he's still a striker who could be brought in for a relatively less fee. Because once again he is a player who hasn't played professional football for quite some time because of all the charges that were up against him. I think Brentford as well would be in a situation where they would want to, actually, sell him on and probably, reinvest in bringing a different striker, probably just continuing with the kind of firepower they've got at the moment. But considering the lack of options that we've got in that department, if he's someone who Ten Hag would be like, I can actually make use of him. Once again, he's a striker that, he is experienced in the Premier League. He's not someone like a Højlund who will be coming in from a completely different league, will have to adapt, has a very, very big target on his back at the same time as well because of the price tag. So it opens up an option, which you can play in certain games, which you can, keep involved with the team, because as we've seen in the earlier games as well, we need depth in practically every single department. For the way Ten Hag wants to play this team, he needs depth in every single department. He likes to, keep on making changes during the course of the game, in between fixtures. So I think having another option actually doesn't hurt us. And with the way we are playing right now and with the kind of injuries we've got and lack of options in that department, I think Toney could be a perfectly good striker.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll get Chivy's thoughts on it very shortly. Got loads in the chat already. United Glory TV saying great goal scorer, but he supports Liverpool and admires Arsenal, according to his recent interview. Also, do we really want a guy who will be placing bets against us? I mean, that's, well, is what it is. Anonymous Mango says some good talking points today. Altai buying Dier. We're going to touch on that goalkeeper. Don't worry about that. Brandon Williams also set to leave on a season loan. We're going to touch on that as well. So, like I said, there's loads of stuff. Your place in the Cosmos says, hi, guys. Big up to yourself. Moondog94 says, Toney would be a brilliant signing for you if it wasn't for Bobby teaching what kind of striker suits Liverpool, and Gakpo looking like a solid replacement for Bobby. Toney would be my first choice. I think Moondog's a Liverpool fan, judging by that. But yeah, loads and loads of comments on Toney in general. I was looking at his stats before, Chivy, because I know you're a massive fan of stats. 30 games, 22 goals for Brentford last season, 12 big chances created, 4 assists, and 16 big chances missed as well. And then obviously prior to that in the Championship, he had quite a prolific record. So no doubt about his ability and goal-scoring record. But with 6 months out, would that worry you at all if we're to take this story, as it is?
No, it won't worry me. I'll be more than happy to have him. He's a consistent player. He's always consistent. Always, his performances are always, And I think we need a player like that. That's because if you look at our front line, it's all like youngins. Max Rashford's young, Martial youngish. We need someone who's with a bit of character, attitude, that sort of player. And he has all the, I love his characteristics in terms of like his ball control. He can play back to goal. Not scared of I don't know any defender that he'd be afraid of. He probably won't be as be able to put up a battle with the highest level ball. he's one of them ones you just need that sort of character up front, and I'll be more than happy to have him. And most importantly, he's a natural goal scorer. He just scores every time. He's natural. It's one of them ones. So yeah, why not? I'm more than happy. And he's different to, because we have a very pacey front with Martial and Rashford and everyone's pacey, Højlund, but he brings something just a little bit different, So yeah, I'll be more than happy if the reports are true. Yeah, I'll take him in January. It'll be a good. I think we'll be able to get him for a good price as well. So I don't know what his contract situation is with. Where is he? Brentford. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know what the contract situation is now, but if we can get him on a deal, like on a cheap sort of deal, why not?
Yeah, I agree with the analysis there. I think he's got all the kind of technical fundamentals to succeed at Manchester United. And he's a bit of a hybrid in a sense as well, where he can pin defenders back. He can bring people into play. His passing's really, really good as well. I've watched him quite a lot for Brentford in that.
Yeah.
He, for me, is the complete modern number 9 who would really suit us for many different reasons. But how much Brentford want, I don't know. You guys saying there, we could get him for a decent price. I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. I don't think Brentford would just be like, just because of the 6 months thing and this thing with betting and stuff like that, I don't think they'd be like, yeah, you can have him for 40. I'd still think they'd push for the 60, 70 mark. I mean, we just bought Rasmus Højlund for 70 million euros, don't forget. Ivan Toney's a much more proven goal scorer than he is.
But I still think it depends on when United, actually moves in for him. If they move in for him, like in the winter window, then obviously you can see that price surge up to like a 50, 60, 70 million. That there's no doubt about it. But I still think that if we, move in this window, where, he's still suspended and he cannot play games for Brentford, I think we can get him for a relatively cheaper fee. If he comes back and then we go in for him, I think definitely that price shoots up by a 10 or 20 million easily.
Yeah, I'm just checking his contract situation to see how many years left he's got on it. That's not telling me. Ivan Toney signed a 5-year contract with Brentford, including annual salary in 2023, apparently. So he's just signed a new contract.
This year.
2023, this year?
This year. So that's what it says here. Current contract, Ivan Toney, Brentford, including an annual salary of... what? That doesn't make sense. That might not be right. Let me have a look at this. Yeah, so... 24 to 25, his contract runs out, I think. So by the end of that season, that's when his contract, same as Maguire situation, I think it is. So a couple of years left on his deal. So it could be interesting. Do you think he'd suit the system stylistically, Shreyas? Can you see what he would bring to this team?
I think he could. Once again, I think I sent something regarding it to you earlier in the day as well, that even in the 2 games that we haven't really played quite well, we have created the third most biggest chances in the league. Considering how we've played, and that is something that completely went over the radar. But it just shows that probably if we were able to even convert like half of those chances, like if out of those 6 we would have scored 3, probably could have looked like a better game. Probably could have looked like a more effective game, but it didn't because we don't have that type of striker. I think Ivan Toney is that sort of striker. Once again, I think right now our team isn't necessarily calling out for a striker who comes in and backs like 35 to 40 goals. We need a striker who can come in and maintain a good relationship with Rashford, with Antony, or whoever is playing on that right hand flank, whether it's a Sancho or an Antony, and at the same time maintain a very fluid relationship with Bruno. I think that is one of the key factors for a striker who will come in. If a striker comes in right now and he intends to flourish at United, he's got a number of factors to actually incorporate into his game. So, because I think Rashford and Antony both are very explosive wingers. Like, I don't see them to be the sort of wingers that look for for a pass first when they move around the box.
Quite selfish, aren't they, in that regard?
Yeah. So I think in that aspect, I think Toney can be a really good striker for us. He opens up a different profile, and I think in certain games, just that maturity and experience in the Premier League can come in really handy.
Yeah, I'm a massive fan of him personally. I think he's a top level striker, and if we signed him, I'd be more than happy. This thing about the way they've done it, like betting scandal, and he's done this, he's done that. Like, is it really the end of the world? Like, it's, I don't know. I'm not as arsed about it as a lot of people are, but it is what it is. Let's read out some more chats because there's loads he is putting in. Tim99 says, not sure about his all-around play, but could be wrong. I think that's what he's best at. I think his all-around play is really, really good.
He's got good link-up play as well.
Yeah, Yeah, he can pin defenders. Like, he's really, really good. Charlie Malman says, we do need at least 2 more strikers, if not 3 more strikers. So Tony's a no-brainer. Go and get him. The thing is, Issue's not available till January, so you have to wait 6 months then. Just
Yeah, even if you get him, he can't play until January.
Yeah, and he's not training, so how long then is it going to take to get up to speed? Like, I don't know. Oh, is he training? No idea. Charles Sam says, get in, we need strikers. Moondog says 6 months out, but he'll come back hungry and thirsty to prove himself. With Kane gone to Munich, he's the main English striker in the league, so England first team will be in his grasp. I think that's a very good point. There's loads, so I'm going to try to get to as many as I can. Could really do with a striker now, but we desperately need at least one midfielder, and I'm finding that hard to see happening. Anonymous Mango says, Maguire to West Ham, definitely not possible at all. They just announced a new centre-back signing. Yeah, I didn't think that was going to happen anyway, to be honest with you. United Glory TV, agree with that. We need a link-up striker. Someone like Firmino would be perfect. And Kudus as a forward option and Gravenbach on loan with the option to buy. I think that's what we need to do this window. Lots of different opinion in the chat, which is what we love to see. Make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe. We are going to move these news stories on because there's quite a lot to get through. James Ducker from The Telegraph put something out before. Richard Arnold is facing calls to resign after the handling the Mason Greenwood situation. Just in light of everything that's happened, me and Shreyas was on the show yesterday. Just give us your thoughts on it, if you can, this whole situation. And would this be the correct decision to make? Is it on Richard Arnold's shoulders, this story?
Yeah, I think he's kind of like the fall guy for this whole thing. And part of me, I know this might be a little bit unpopular, but I think that he would not have wanted Mason to come back if the manager didn't approve of it. Like, I think he would have asked the manager, like, would you like to have him back? And then even if the owners agreed or whatever, at the end of the day, everything falls at his table. So it's going to be him to take the responsibility. Which, if he had a good reaction from the public, or if it was a bad reaction, it was going to be him. I don't think he's going to leave. I understand the calls for him to resign, but I don't think he's going to leave just over the whole Mason Greenwood thing, because if you listen to, or if you read his statement, he seems pretty, convinced that whether it was right or wrong, he seems convinced that, Mason didn't do anything wrong.
I wanted to ask you about that, about this specific terminology in the statement. Was that a little bit...
It implied that Mason Greenwood was not as guilty as everyone, but we all heard the tapes. So then it makes me wonder if there's something more to the audio.
Well, is it the public's right to hear that, or United fans' right to hear that? Because it's a weird situation, isn't it? Like, having that out there saying, well, he didn't do it. We've seen something behind that. But then, so what do you expect us to do as people? Because we haven't seen that.
Yeah, so I'm not jumping into any conclusions. I'm going to go by what, I've always been realistic.
Yeah.
I'll go by what I saw and I heard. I heard what I heard, what everyone else heard. And even if, it's a good decision for him to go, regardless of what happened. There's just this club is a fucking circus at the moment. There's just everything. Yeah, there's just, it's a different thing. Today is Maguire, tomorrow is Greenwood, and then next tomorrow is Arnold, and then it's this and it's that. So the less fanfare, the better. I don't think Arnold's going to leave. The Mason Greenwood thing is not strong enough. At the end of the day, he's done the right thing and asked him to leave. He's not going to lose his job over this, even though I hope he does. But
you hope he does for different reasons, though, right?
Yeah, I hope he just goes away.
Yeah, it's a bit. Yeah. Shreyas, I'm going to preempt this with, I know they won't. Trust me, I know they won't. But should the Glazers speak out on this situation? Because effectively, it all stems down from the top, doesn't it? Like, so for them to kind of just say, "Yeah, Richard, you deal with that, mate. We're not having our name tied to that." Like, it doesn't surprise you at all with the Glazers, does it?
Nothing. I think if they had to speak about topics, they should have been doing it probably even before I was born. And they haven't really done anything. It isn't their characteristic to actually come out and take responsibility. Hold themselves accountable, or probably just have an angle by which they can. They've never communicated to the fans directly. It has always been through mediators, and I think even right now, with the way things have been circulating, like, the sale of the club was a very big thing. Like whoever had to take over the club was a very big thing, and even that was a thing that they didn't really announce themselves to the fans. It became
Hold on,
known.
sorry. Sorry,
Yeah,
Shreyas, what year were you born? Are you a
2003.
Gen G?
Yeah,
He's a
I'm
Gen
Gen Z.
G
Yeah,
baby.
yeah.
No, Gen G, Gen Glazer.
Oh wow, is that what we're calling it? Yeah,
Yeah,
we a lot of kids not happy with that.
yeah. You were born and raised in the Glazer,
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
yeah,
So all you
Glazer
know, the
years.
majority of your life has been spent under the Glazers.
Yeah,
yeah,
Crazy.
yeah.
man.
Feel
TV
sorry for
just
you,
ruined
man.
a
I
generation.
wish I could tell you about. One day I'll tell you about the good old days.
We used
Sorry,
to
sorry.
win and have competent owners, and it was all.
Sorry for cutting you off there. Sorry.
Yeah, but as once again, I
Alright.
think, like Chivi mentioned as well, I don't think this is a strong case as to why he would be leaving. Probably he leaves, but I still think he'll be staying because he's been doing everything that has been asked from him. Like however things have been circulating,
Yeah.
whether they're slow, whether they're wrong, or whether they're right, he's been doing everything that has been asked, whether it's from the manager's side or whether it's from the side of the board or the owners. So I think if something goes like tremendously wrong, like if something like comes out like like the Glazers are staying and they are not moving ahead with the sale of the club, that's when probably you'll be seeing something like this, that this guy is being fired or this guy is being removed from his position, because they would want to turn the attention to something. And right now
Mm.
they are not really seeing anything as strong as they don't require anything to actually divert attention right now. The Mason Greenwood thing is big enough to actually keep fans diverted for a week or two.
Yeah. Just on the last thing on Greenwood, because we've spoken about him so much, and this is kind of the last question what I'll ask about it, and then further shows. I mean, I really don't want to discuss it. We thought initially, Shreyas, when we went live, that what we were saying was that they terminated his contract.
Yeah.
They haven't terminated his contract.
No.
We're overseeing his next steps of his 2 years on his contract, which could mean a potential loan. Shiva, you've seen how quick the landscape can change in football in the world. Is there still a chance he returns if he starts backing goals abroad and slow? Because it's not out of the realms of possibility, is what I'm saying, is it? If he goes out on loan and starts scoring goals like consistently, like he used to before, do you think there still would be a landscape of change there? Time's a healer in it, as they say.
Yeah, it's very possible. If he goes and fulfills his potential, like, goes and starts doing a mad thing somewhere in France or something, or in Italy. One thing we suffer from nowadays is like a recency bias. There's always a, what have you done recently? Do you understand? And if it's a year or two, it would be like, well, the baby's grown now and they're all happy and
Exactly.
yeah. And then people will continue to make excuses and oh yeah, everything has kind of died down now, and then just say United's kind of stable and we're at a point where we can do with one or two. Mason's over there, he'll cost whatever, and yeah. So I won't put it beyond the realms of possibility. Mason Greenwood is a natural. I hate saying his name. He's a natural goal scorer. Like he's left, right, it doesn't matter. He scores naturally. And, if it gets to the point where he's banging like 20, 30 goals in Italy, I won't be surprised if people will be like, you know what, yeah, bring him back.
I'm sorry, I'm just cats climbing up my fucking chair. Like fucking spider cat.
He wants to make his opinion out as well.
Yeah, listen, piss off, mate. There's only 3 of us on the show. Yeah, Mason Greenwood, I think they would be very quick to say, actually, you can just hold on that letting him go bit. If he scores 20 odd goals, like maybe we can repackage this. United have won this. I don't know.
I mean, imagine if he goes somewhere and then plays in the Champions League against like one of our English rivals. Maybe he faces Arsenal
and tears it up,
Liverpool, and then tears it up, and then some of our fans will be like, ooh, and it's like, yeah, it's been a while. We should then you start hearing things about forgiveness and mental health and all that crap.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree. From one player leaving the club or potentially half leaving the club to player potentially coming in, if it fucking happens. There's been some reports around Amrabat Shreyas from Samuel Luckhurst, which is a little bit worrying, but Romano's kind of surfaced them worries. Luckhurst was saying Amrabat and being out of contract next year is a not strong enough incentive for Manchester United. A United official screwed up his face during the pre-season tour when Amrabat's name was mentioned. If United truly wanted Amrabat, he would be in Manchester by now. But then you have Romano saying he's still number one choice. So I really don't know what's going on with this situation. When I've seen deadlines coming out for Fiorentina, when does this deal? It needs to be done now, right? Like, you can't wait until the end of the window for this to be done, surely.
It was being reported that they're waiting either of Scott McTominay or Tony Van de Beek to leave the club, and that's when they'll actually go in for him. But because what was being reported was United are trying to accumulate as many funds as they possibly can to get him in. But the only doubt that has actually come in for me every single time is that Tony will be leaving out on loan. Tony isn't going, even if he goes, he's not going to raise you like 10 to 15 million like that. He doesn't bring in the cash to actually fund the transfer. So how is Tony leaving going to facilitate a move for Amrabat is the first doubt that I had. Secondly, I think Amrabat once again is a player that we desperately need in this team. I think we need that sort of a profile and we need that sort of a player in this team. And the first two games, I think they provided enough evidence that we need that sort of depth in that midfield as well. So he is a necessity signing. I think Ten Hag really wants the player to come to the club as well. I think it just goes down to the fact whether we have the finances to pull this transfer off in this window. Because I think if we had, we genuinely would have moved for him. Because this has been being reported for over a month now that Amrabat to United is very close.
Yeah,
The player has
joke,
agreed
to be
personal
honest.
terms, and the price has already been quoted. The price is like 30 million or 27 million, around that figure, and I don't think that's an insane price for the kind of midfielder we'll be getting. So I think there is a hold up because of the finances. Because other than that, I don't see any realistic explanation as to why we are not going further with the move. But I think we should move with this Amrabat deal within this week, because you just never know how players start to feel by the time that end of the that deadline day comes, and players start to get itchy.
Yeah.
And you never know, if Liverpool snatch him up, we'll be in a very bad position at deadline day, having no midfielder other than Casemiro to fill in that position.
Yeah. And Liverpool have already done it twice with us,
Yeah.
with Darwin Núñez and Cody Gakpo as well. So
And
it's
Fabinho.
and Fabinho. So, like, you cannot lose out on these players. And if it's 25 million, surely you can spread them costs out over the next couple of years. Like, it's not that much. I know we've already spent, 130 net spend, probably, I'd say. You round that up to 150 then, and then a few players towards the end of the window are probably eventually going to end up going. Shiva, if we are limited to a certain player now or a certain position to fill, then there's only one. If you had the option to bring in another striker or another midfielder, which route would you take and why?
Midfielder. I'll take the midfielder.
And would that midfielder be Amrabat, I take it?
100%.
Yeah.
I'll take another midfielder. What's the point of having a striker when we're just going to concede loads and loads of goals? You understand? It doesn't matter. Like I was saying in the group chat today, like, it doesn't matter who we get up front. If our midfield, if people are still walking through our midfield, then what's the fucking point of having the striker?
Do you think the midfield can? Do you think it can be adjusted to the point where it will work, or do you think it's just individual personnel?
I think it's a bit of both. If we go back to the system that we had last season, we would then need sort of like a player with the profile of Amrabat to make it work. So you'll be surprised that we might actually have Amrabat and Casemiro playing together, the way Arsenal would have Declan Rice and Thomas Partey playing on the same team.
Yeah.
So and then you've also seen how Man City would have Rodri and John Stones in the midfield.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's if we go back to that system, and then because Amrabat and Casemiro are technically gifted as well, they can do an Eriksen thing. Probably not as good, but at a decent level in terms of that. Casemiro, we've seen Casemiro's range of passing is amazing. I don't know about Amrabat, but I'm aware, or I think he's
good.
I'm being made to believe that he can do the distribution thing as well.
He can, yes.
Yeah. So if we go back to what we did last season and have one of them, or they can alternate roles, because both of them can both do the 6 and the 8 thing, and then you have Bruno up front, or when Ten Hag smokes a joint, he can then do the Bruno on the right, and then Mason Mount in the 10 sort of thing. But if we don't do that, Arsenal, like Arteta learned very, very quickly after we played them. That was the last time you saw that
Havertz,
Mount.
Odegaard.
That was the end of it. It never
Yeah.
happened again. And even when it happened, it was then Havertz in an advanced role.
Yeah.
And then he had Rice, Partey. So he's never going to do this, you know. So I just hope this manager does the same thing. But let's go back to Amrabat. He's the ideal sort of player that I'd want to have. If we can get him in and then just go through the season again with, you know, Marcus Rashford, hopefully if Martial gives us 50% of what he did last season, like if he can just come back for a little bit more games, and then we have
all right then, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
it will be all right. And then we have what's his name, the new guy.
Rasmus Højlund. What's his name?
Sorry,
Just star striker who just brought in.
It's been a long day, very long day at work. You can tell by my voice. So we have so we can kind of, you know, no one's expecting us to win the league this season. If we can just kind of just, you know, keep a similar position that we did last season, try and, you know, go on another cup run, top 4, just have one solid midfielder to sort of, you know, just to shore things up. Because if we carry on doing what we're doing now, bro, this thing about us being the new Spurs, like it'll be for real.
Oh, don't sending chills up.
I'm telling you now.
Like, no, I agree. I think we've been wide open in games. You play like it's the big boys. You're looking at more 7-0s and more 5-0s. Absolutely. We've got loads of these in the chat. Don't forget we're doing something interactive towards the end, and we need you guys for that. So stick around for us just as we go through the next couple of topics, and then we'll dive into the interactive draft. Anonymous Mango says, I think for Brits said ages ago that both Fred and Donny need to leave before Amrabat comes in. Yeah, they do. Fred's gone.
True.
But the thing is, we got told about Fred from James from the Muppeteers was we only receive like 5 mil from that because of his extended year. He gets some of that, which is just madness. Ten Hag seems content with the current midfield 3, so I wouldn't be surprised if he focuses attention on the attacker instead, says Anonymous Mango. Shah Sam says, this sell to buy thing makes me sick. We hear that every summer though, don't we? It's just a thing. United Glory TV says Ten Hag should focus on improving the current set of players and ironing out the tactics and identity. Adding players won't improve our standard of football. We need to focus on training ground. I think it's a bit of both, to be honest with you. We do need to work on training ground and certain drills, but we also need some more bodies in for the season. Especially you look at how far we went in competitions last season. The amount of minutes we played, like Casemiro can't play every single game playing as that 6 in that system. It'll be dead.
Like, did you see the way he was running in the last game? Like, I was feeling sorry for. I'm watching the game and I'm tired just watching it.
Yeah.
So imagine.
That's so much space. You looked at him thinking like he can't deal with it. It's overwhelming.
The thing about personnel is having some of these guys who are not actively in the team, like still got Donny van de Beek. And then McTominay is kind of, whether is he in, is he out? Like, it's not really. Yeah. But, you know, both of them are taking up space. So we need players. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Shreyas, I'll come to you very, very shortly. Dan Errington saying, thought United had turned their attention to Gravenbach instead of Amrabat. Well, that's not been clarified. Whenever it's been reported, it's still Amrabat is top of the list. But keep an eye on United with Gravenbach as well. So I don't know if it's one or the other, or if it's Gravenbach, Burke, or whatever his name is, could be a potential loan. Because he's not getting game time at Bayern, season-long loan. So if you can do that as well, then happy days. And then Scoreboard says, just hope we make the top 5. I mean, I don't even want to have that attitude at the minute. I don't even want to think about it because, it's going to be a long season judging by the first 2 games. I want to talk about the goalkeeper situation, Shreyas, because we had some, I want to call it breaking news, but I'm not sure if it is breaking news. David Ornstein from The Athletic reporting that United was doing a pre-medical, and I'm just going to struggle to say this guy's name, on Go on.
Since you're talking about the goalkeeper, can I go for a wee? Sorry, guys.
Oh, do you think, mate? Yeah, go for it, of course. Man United did a pre-medical on Altay Bayinde, I think his name is, in Greece, ahead of a possible €5 million move for Fenerbahce goalkeeper. United want to assess the back issue before opting to sign the 25-year-old. Also depends on Dean Henderson exit. Crystal Palace are most likely as things stand. And then we had some more breaking news that he had passed that medical in Athens and he'll be travelling back to Istanbul. Do you know anything about this player at all? I don't either. I don't expect you to. But how you feel about this? Is it just important to get this second choice goalkeeper in now? And do you think that maybe some movement on Henderson going to Palace?
I think if they're working in the direction that we get this keeper in for 5 million, and he can just be there, so that we have like three keepers for the entire run of the season. And then we sell Dean Henderson for about 20 million or 25 million to Crystal Palace. So then you've still got a difference of 15 to 20 million to work with. And probably,
And it's pure profit as well.
exactly. And this would work well in the way of getting a Gravenberch or an Amrabat. Like, whoever becomes more feasible for us, I think it does make cash available, because the players, we have sold players, but they've all been youth players, and the prices for which we have sold them for aren't like 15 or 20 million figures. Probably if you add them all up, they come near around 20 million. So I think that United still need a player that can go and actually bring in some much needed funds. And I think right now Dean Henderson is the only probable choice, because Maguire isn't leaving. I don't think that Scott McTominay is leaving anytime soon either. So that just leaves Dean Henderson in this team, who can actually bring a figure which is upwards of 15 million. Other than that, I don't see any player in this team right now who is someone that Ten Hag would be willing to sell and would generate that amount of cash.
Yeah. That's why I think it stalled a couple as well, because maybe United were looking at Henderson to Forest and it was like, right, there's an extra kind of pure 20 mil, 15, 20 mil that we can work with, and that broke down essentially. So it was a bit of a weird one. Jimmy, I know you've done extensive scouting on Altay Bayinde as second choice goalkeeper, so do you want to tell us a bit about it? No, it's needed, isn't it? The second choice goalkeeper, regardless of whoever it is, if he's an half decent goalkeeper, just bring him in it, I suppose.
Well, this is what we're saying before we went live. Like, what's the point of having an academy? We have a homegrown goalkeeper who's won a league in, where was it, Czech Republic?
Yeah.
Sorry to see a comment. Someone just put, can I go for a wee please, legend? And then United Glory TV put sack watch. So what the fuck? That's so random. It completely threw me off. What if Nick said no? Yeah. Can I go for a week? No. No, you have to stay here and hold it in, pal. Yeah, sorry, Jimmy, I interrupted you there. Continue, please.
No. What were we talking? Oh, yeah, goalkeeper. We had Kova.
Yeah.
We saw him he had a really good performance against Lyon. Good with his feet. The relationship with the central defenders and his wing backs, it looked like he'd played with them for years. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. We have it's perfect number 2. He's coming in. He's he knows his level. He's been with us for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
I remember, so then we sell him, and then we want to get another. We sell him, a good prospect, for 7 mil to Bayer Leverkusen. And then we're going to buy another guy for what, 15?
It's no. Well, he's slightly cheaper, but even still, you make a great point, because
Kova,
it doesn't make any sense.
And we're strapped for cash, apparently.
Yeah.
We don't have money.
So maybe that's why it is, because it's pure profit, and they're like, right, we get £8 million, but then I don't know.
So what? I don't get it. So I'm really not interested in this, whoever his name is. If it comes good for him. He's
it's not a sparkly site. Let's not try. This is fucking just your standard Magnolia paint from Home and Bargain. It's not like
Onana is like number 1, nailed in. If and the kind of player he is, like, he's gonna play almost every single game.
Yeah.
So this other guy, it's like Jack Butland. Remember when he?
Yeah. No one ever saw him ever. And he had the cheek to sit in the fucking dressing room with a trophy saying, done my bit or something. Oh, proud to it. And thinking, you cheeky bastard, you've done nothing. You've done absolutely nothing. And you've won a trophy. Like, it's fucking mental, isn't it?
Yeah, so I would imagine Jack Butland probably is probably a better goalkeeper, has more experience than this new guy coming in.
Yeah.
He didn't play, right? So this guy thinks, anyway. Yeah.
I agree. We'll part that discussion there. The last thing on Henderson, though, Shreyas, it's again an obligation to buy. Seems like a loan, and then I don't know why every single club seems to just offer this with us. It seems to be just United for loans if we're getting rid of players. But would you be okay with that if it is an obligation to buy? And maybe, I don't know if it's based on appearances, because that's what the Forest deal was, wasn't it?
I think I wouldn't, because I think if it would have been any other situation and we could have gone with a loan with an obligation to buy, I would have gone for it. But right now, if Henderson leaves for like a loan with an obligation to buy a deal, it means that we'll only get the price for him when that obligation is met. Before that obligation
Yeah.
is met, we are not getting any cash for him. So even if he leaves, then it doesn't really help us in any way. I think right now the only way Henderson leaving could help us would be if he leaves and we get like 15, 25 million, whatever the figure could be, but we get it straight up so that we can move in with other transfers. We can probably move further in this direction. And I still think, when it comes to offloading players, we are not that great. I think offloading younger players, we're good. But offloading players that make up the first team or, our regular bench players, we're really, really terrible. Like, we cannot pull
Yeah.
any single transfer off. Like, it took
Does
us
it
so long to get Fred out of the window.
does it surprise you, shares what you've just said now? Does it surprise you? Because let's look at the big clubs, and we're supposed to be one of the big
Yeah.
clubs in world football. And one of the reasons why I believe that we're struggling with, selling players or anything to do with player negotiations is it doesn't matter if it's Manchester United. Like, these people deal with themselves as individuals. If you're going to do anything with Bayern Munich, you're going to be talking to Salihamidzic or whatever his name is. He's been a Bayern Munich player for years. Football, he's that's who you're dealing with. Or you're dealing with Oliver Kahn. If you're dealing with anything with Real Madrid, you're dealing with Florentino Perez. If you're talking to Manchester City, you're talking to Chiki Begiristan. These are all big names. If you're talking to, then you come to England and you know that Tottenham's not a big name. But when you think of Tottenham, if you're talking about negotiations, you're thinking about Daniel Levy. Also hard to negotiate. Manchester United. You're talking to Richard Arnold.
It's yours!
Do you understand? You're talking to people who have absolutely no experience. They don't have any more experience than you, Shrez, when it comes to. No, it's facts. If you have your CV and Richard Arnold's CV and you're looking for prior football experience, if you're both applying for the role, none of you have any experience in a football capacity. So these guys they don't know anything. And these other teams who negotiate, it's not Manchester United they're talking to Richard Arnold.
Yeah.
It's like, he's so this is when you think about it from that perspective, like, we have people in charge who know nothing about player negotiations. They are not decisive when it comes to making any sort of decisions with players. They don't know anything. So this is why we're struggling. This is why we have this problem. And how are we talking about Brandon Williams going out on loan? Like,
Going
is
to
this
Ipswich, right?
Yeah,
We've seen that.
Donny van de Beek? We can't sell Dean Henderson. This is an asset. And we can't even sell him. We can't sell Scott McTominay. We can't sell Hammer. We're struggling to sell these guys. We managed to sell Fred, and we get €5 million, which is enough to £5 million.
It's bad. It is bad, isn't it? To be fair.
Do you understand why? So this is what we're dealing with now. This is the level of competence that we have for Manchester United. And you guys expect anything to happen?
Well, I thought the incomings that we did were relatively good. Onana for £43 million, I thought was really, really good.
I'll give
that
them
was a
credit
good
for
deal.
that.
So I was like, okay, I can see what you're trying to do here, but then the outgoings again have just been. I understand they're on big wages, etc., etc. But you look at the Dean Henderson that you mentioned there. It's not astronomical wages; it's affordable wages. And you see James Trafford move for like £20 million. How the fuck can we not get 20 million for Henderson? It's crazy.
It's
absolutely crazy.
And then Arsenal were able to sell. They would beat Matt Turner to Nottingham Forest over Dean Henderson. Like, that is just insane.
Yeah,
you understand. And if I'll just finalize it with this, I've said it before in the chat. Like, if Ralph Ragnick was here as in the tech, that guy he would take a fucking chainsaw to those off it, just tear down everything.
Yeah.
Sell these guys off and then just go and look at all the players he recommended. Alvarez,
Enzo,
the guy at Liverpool,
and Kunku as well.
The Fabio, not Fabio? I can't remember names.
Who they just signed?
No, the one who scores the Colombian guy.
Diaz.
Luis Diaz,
yeah. So all these guys, like, it's
Shame, innit? It's a shame. But then they decided, like, oh, we can't have him up here because he'll probably make a mockery of us, to be honest. That's why they probably got rid of him, to be honest. I've just had some breaking news, by the way. So this will probably, you'll be happy about this, Chivy, I imagine. Mason Mount will miss the match against Nottingham Forest with an injury picked up against Tottenham. He's expected to be out until the international break. So Mason Mount will not play now until the international break, until after it, which means either Ericsson comes back into that midfield or Scott McTominay comes back into that midfield. And that sort of looks like it's music to your ears. So, I imagine certain people will be happy about that.
I would love to see McTominay back in. Can you imagine me saying that?
I can't, yeah, it's crazy. United, Manchester United for you. Anyway, I don't want to dive too much into that because we'll have the Nottingham Forest preview on Friday and stuff. Right, we need as many of you people in the chat right now who are watching and watching my lips move. We need as many of you guys getting involved with this. We're going to do viewers pick the draft, okay? So Chive and Shreyas are going to go head to head. The viewers will suggest a team for the chosen individual, and you have to pick a player from that specific club to make a starting 11. You can fill the positions in any order, and it could be from any top 5 leagues. So Prem, Serie A, La Liga, League One, or Bundesliga. But the viewers decide on which
But
club.
League One isn't a top 5 league anymore.
So what's in place of that?
Eredivisie.
You can have either one. I don't like either one.
Who's not top? Bundesliga is not a top.
The French
league has gone to 6th.
Yeah, but it's always been planned. If Lacazette's scoring 27 goals, it doesn't surprise me in the slightest, to be honest. Also, they can choose any team from that league. So obviously, people watching need to get involved in the chat. This can either be disastrous or really, really fun. So more and more people actually coincidentally joining now, which is nice. Who wants to pick first? Shreyas. Okay, so someone recommend a club. Now, mix it up as well. Don't just say United, Arsenal, City. Mix these clubs up so you can go for Napoli and then go for fucking Fulham. And then, do you know what I mean? Someone put a club in the chat now. And the first club that I see,
any club,
that's where Shreyas has to pick a player from. So when a club gets put in, and you can put any position there as well. It doesn't have to be goalkeeper to striker. It can literally be whoever. Ajax, you've got. So a player from Ajax, Shreyas.
Ajax. Well, have to
Someone's put Derby County. Can't have Derby County because they're in that League 2 or something. It's just 5 leagues, so the top 5 leagues right now, and then I'll go to the other clubs in order. You guys are putting them in there. So Ajax, Shreyas, I'm gonna have to push you on this because there's 11 players each. Don't forget. So
just 1 sec.
Kudus
is still there. Except that their squad has actually been. Oh yeah, it's terrible.
They still have Kenny Taylor.
Yeah, Kenny Taylor. They still got Windel, Bergwijn, and Brian Brobby. I'll go with Kudus. That's I think the best of all of the options that are there.
Okay, Kudus. Right, Chive, your team is. Let's have a look. Your place in the Cosmos has picked Barcelona.
Nick, you know who
De Jong?
Yeah, of course.
De Jong, nice. Shreyas, Valencia. I'm doing this in order, by the way, just teams that have been put in.
Yeah. Valencia. Okay.
That's a sticky one that in a minute. Yeah. Valencia, I don't know who fucking plays there anymore, to be honest with you.
Come on, man.
Cavani left.
Soldado.
our former number 7, man.
Oh, right, yeah, shit, I forgot Cavani.
Cavani's gone, though.
Is he gone?
Yeah, to Boca Juniors.
Oh, interesting. Valencia. Gaia? Is it left back Gaia?
Oh, yeah, Gaia's good.
Jose Gaia.
Yeah, there's a Portuguese kid. Oh, my days.
Guedes?
What was his name?
No.
Yeah, I think
Guedes
it is, yeah.
Yeah. Who you going with, Shreyas? To be fair, I should have preempted you with this and told you about it so you could have like a little list up there, but okay, it is what it is. Relying on your knowledge here. There's more and more teams. We keep getting the teams in.
I'll actually go with the keeper, Marmar Dashvili. He is a decent keeper for them.
Is that Serbian guy, right?
Georgian.
Is that right? Oh, how are you spelling it? Because I no idea.
Mardashvili.
Yeah, no idea. I'll just put Marmaris. You'll remember him anyway.
I didn't catch any of that.
No idea. But you'll know who we're on about when I reference it. Right, Chiva, who have you got up next? You've got Bayer Leverkusen.
Ooh.
Goa.
One of my favorite teams. I have no idea who plays there now.
Frimpong?
Jeremy Frimpong.
They've still
Frimpong,
got
yeah,
Florian
it's look-
Wirtz.
Wirtz as well, very good player. Yeah. But you got a Dutch team so far, Chive. Next up for you, Shreyas, you have AC Milan.
AC Milan.
Yes.
I think there is one obvious. I'll go with Rafael Leao. Left wing.
Leao, very nice.
Ooh,
Top player.
good choice.
Baller.
Good choice,
Baller.
yeah.
Next up for Chive, Verona. Do you know any players from Verona? The kit, I know the kit's very, very nice. I can give you another one.
Yeah, give me another one.
Because Verona's a bit like, I don't really. If we have teams right near the bottom, it's going to be a bit thingy.
Yeah.
Atletico Madrid.
Ooh.
Memphis Depay.
That's
Memphis
a full
is
Dutch team there.
there.
He's already got De Jong and Frimpong. Get
Yeah.
fucking Van Hal squad together. Right? Keep getting the clubs in. 23 people in the chat. Leave a like on the video.
I might go Griezmann because he's always been one of my favorite players.
Okay.
He had a very good season last
Oh,
year.
no. Sorry. Oblak, goalkeeper.
All black. Very nice.
Yeah.
He's reversed it. All black is in the team. Shreyas, you've got Roma.
Roma. Dybala.
Very nice. Dybala. It's a very attacking team. Dybala, Kudos, and Leah. I think you still fit them in. Chive, you've got. Someone's put Al Habib. Let's have a look. Marseille.
Marseille.
Marseille had a lot of
I'll go-
outgoing. I think they signed Aubameyang.
I'm gonna have a look now. Oh fuck Aubameyang. We need more and more clubs, so keep typing them in. Keep going.
Who plays left back for Marseille?
I'm getting it up now.
Tagliafico.
Just leave it with me.
Tagliafico.
Fucking hell, there.
Tagliafico.
Yeah, Tagliafico.
Yeah.
Jonathan Klaus, you've got there. Renan Lodi.
Paulo.
Ismail Sarr has moved there.
Yeah, Ismail Sarr is there as well. Veretout is there.
Kondogbia.
Uzi.
Let's take Tagliafico for left back.
Tagliafico. Very nice. Right, we're getting there now. Let's have a look at the chat. See
Oh
what
no,
people are saying.
Tagliafico plays for Lyon.
Does he?
Yeah, he's
That's
not in Marseille.
removed. So, do you want me to go through it again, Chive? The
They've
players?
got Renan Lodi. They signed Renan Lodi in left back.
Jonathan Klaus.
Go for him.
Jonathan Klaus is a good right back from Lens.
No, we already have Jeremy Frimpong.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, you have to go with Lodi, yeah?
Yeah.
We'll go with Lodi. That's fine. Shreyas, you have got Dortmund.
What positions have I got left to fill in?
So you done Kudos, that goalkeeper, I have no idea who it is, Leao and Dybala. So you've got a left winger, a striker, a cam, and a keeper. So Borussia Dortmund, you've got. Chat's going mad. Thank you very much, guys. Keep getting those clubs in. Subscribe to the channel as well, if you can.
I'll actually go with Schlotterbeck.
Is that the left back, yeah? Is
No, the centre back.
that right?
Yeah,
Oh, it's a centre back. Okay.
Yeah.
My bad. Yeah, Chive, you've got Leipzig.
RB Leipzig.
Timo Werner.
He's all right, man. He's all right.
It's all right.
No, I mean he's doing really well this season.
They've got-
Name me some of their players.
Danny Olmo.
Leipzig. Danny Olmo.
Olmo. Yeah.
Olmo, yeah. De Jong and Olmo in that midfield.
They've
Very
also
nice.
signed Xavi Simons on loan.
Yeah, Xavi Simons. Top
Oh yeah, I saw him in the game against
They've
Liverpool.
got Klosterman, Simikan.
Defenders. Who do they have in defense?
Klosterman, Simikan, Willy Orban, and David Raum.
I'll go with Danny Olmo.
Okay, bear with me a second. Danny Olmo's in there. I'm just typing up the team, so I don't think yeah. Right, that's on there. Next up, Real Madrid. But you can't have Vinicius because you've already got Leao.
I know. My attack is sorted. So
So midfield, or defenders.
I have a left winger, I have a striker, I have a cam, and I have a keeper
Right
and
winger.
a right winger
You have
as
Rodrigo.
well. And
Are we making a team together, or are we making?
No,
two
separate.
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 Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so it's a draft, and you put a team against each other. I'm going to do a graphic for it. So
Oh,
whoever's
right,
what's the
yes.
ultimate team, if you will.
I still got a right wing position left, and I've got midfield,
Yes.
and I've got 3 spots in the
I've
defense.
got a keeper.
Yeah, correct.
They've got so many good players. I'll go with Jude Bellingham in midfield.
Jude Bellingham. Look at Chivy's face, pissed off. Right, Napoli, Chivy.
Napoli.
Osimhen, Kvaratskhelia, and they've got
So you pick,
Lobotka, Zambo Anguissa,
Yeah.
and
I've
Alex
got
Miller.
I've got a left back and a right back. And a
You've
keeper.
got Oblak, Frimpong, Loader, De Jong, and Danny Olmo so far.
I got Osimhen. That's right.
Osimhen,
Yeah.
love it. Osimhen.
I have to go with Niger. I have to go with my Niger.
I was going to say, if you don't,
Niger.
no. If you don't.
Yeah.
Your place in the Cosmos put Sheffield. But who's going to Sheffield apparently? Palestra is going
Palestra.
there.
Yeah, yes. That is the reason why I left that right wing position empty.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. But we'll try to keep it near the top because when the no offense to the bottom clubs, but yeah, Juventus. You've got Juventus.
Come on, seriously, Nick. Try against Juventus, Real Madrid.
I'm doing it in order. I'm literally doing it in order. You've had Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Napoli,
Verona.
Yeah, you didn't pick from Verona though. You switched it up.
I know. Leverkusen. I fucking got Leverkusen.
Hey, I'm just blame the chat. Don't blame me.
Marseille.
Right, Shreyas.
Yeah. I'm just going over the players.
Juventus. I could think Chiesa, Vlahovic. Saying that, you've already got your attack sorted, haven't you? Locatelli.
Not Locatelli. I'll actually go with.
Have to push your Shreyas.
Yeah, just one sec. I'll have to go with Locatelli.
Locatelli. Okay, so Bellingham and Locatelli in the midfield.
Actually, no, not Locatelli. I'll switch.
Okay.
I'll switch to Bremer and centre back.
The centre back. Okay.
Yeah.
Bremer at centre back. Let me have a look. Juventus. Then we've got Benfica. Can't have them. Everton. Liverpool. Shreyas. Chive.
How many do I have? I have Osimhen in attack. I have Danny Olmo on the left.
Yeah, you got De Jong, Loader, Frimpong, Oblak.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I've got Liverpool. Yeah.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
Mohamed Salah for my right wing.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Still competitive teams. Very nice. How much? I like you. Next up, we need more teams. We need more teams. Keep them flooding in. Otherwise, I'm going to have to start lowering the teams and going to like Everton.
Don't let that happen, please.
You might have Dwight McNeil playing with Bellingham. Crazy shit. Let me see if there's any teams that I've missed if we scroll through. Need as many clubs as possible for it to think of. Luton, Sheffield, Bologna, Feyenoord, Sampdoria, Almeria.
Sampdoria.
There we go. PSG.
Okay.
Someone just put PSG in.
PSG.
See what I'm saying? Yeah. Madrid, PSG, Juventus.
It's the order of the chat.
I get fucking Marseille and.
On the right hand side, I can still go for an attacker, right?
Yeah, you've got a right hand side attacker.
Mbappe.
It has to be a right hand sided attacker though. Is he right? I don't think he's a right winger, is he? Plays on the left and up top. I rarely see him on the right. Just calling it. Just saying.
Whoever got on the, what is my attack looking like right now?
No, I think you can take him and play him. It's fine. He's an attacker.
Okay, if you're happy with that, that's fine.
I'm being fair.
Thank you.
Yeah. Next up, Chelsea.
They have thousands of
Good
good
options.
players. Whether they work on the pitch or not is
uh,
a different thing, but they've got thousands of good players.
Yes.
I'll go for Enzo.
Yeah.
Enzo Fernandez. That's a good midfield. De Jong, Olmo, and Enzo. Very nice midfield.
No, Olmo's going to be on the left.
Right. Okay.
Left
Fair
side.
enough. Sort that out. Next up, we've got PSV.
Okay.
PSV. Have a look.
Hasn't Wijnaldum gone back to PSV, I think.
Has it?
I think he's
Yeah.
gone back. Yeah.
Interesting. Just going through the teams here. So, Shreyas, you got your wing backs left and a midfielder, I think. Yeah, wing backs and a midfielder. Chive, you've got centre backs and one midfielder.
Yeah.
Correct, yeah. Both teams looking relatively good, to be fair. Go on, Shreyas.
I'll go with one fullback. I'll go with Serginho Dest.
Dest? Oh, yeah, shit.
Yeah.
I forgot Dest. Very nice. Serginho Dest. Next up, Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
Bayern Munchen. Joshua Kimmich.
Yeah.
Joshua Kimmich. Very nice. Kimmich is in there. Arsenal. Shreyas.
I think it's great that I got Arsenal and JV didn't.
Yes, probably. Best for Rage. Couple minutes on the clock left. Try push through this.
Okay, so I've got what positions left now?
So you have got a left back and a midfielder.
Left back and a midfielder.
So Zinchenko or Rice or Partey, effectively.
Not Zinchenko. I'll go with Rice.
Declan Rice. Rice, baby. Then we have Inter Milan. That's in there. Chive.
I don't know who plays centre back for Inter.
I'll just look
Bastone. Bastone?
There's
Bastone.
Bastone, Jan Sommer, but you've already got a keeper. Darmian.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Centre back.
Yeah, centre back. It's centre backs. Well, they didn't play centre back. They need to be fair in the final, but yeah, wouldn't be having Darmian in there.
De Vrij, Denzel Dumfries.
Oh yeah, no, I'll go with Stefan De Vrij. De Vrij.
Over Bastone. You smoking crack? De Vrij, okay.
I'm smoking that Whitney.
Smoking that good stuff.
Yeah.
Then we have...
No, I'll change it. I'll go Bastone.
That's right. Jesus Christ.
He's right-footed, isn't he?
Left-footed, Bastone.
Okay, yeah.
Right. Anyway, we're getting to the last players now. So, Shreyas, you have got Newcastle.
Okay, and I've got to pick a fullback.
Left back, yeah, which will be Dan Burn, I think.
One sec. They must have signed someone at least.
Left back, I can't think of one.
Left back?
Yeah, Newcastle. Dan Burn,
left back.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't signed any. Mate, just go with Dan Burn. You've got Mbappe.
You've got Bellingham, Declan Rice, Leao, Mbappe. It's Dan Burn, mate. Dan Burn's going in there because here's another one. Sorry. Yeah. And then next up, Man United. You're placing the Cosmos.
Oh, come on. Oh. See, I knew it. I fucking knew it.
Do you want me to go over the players?
Because Bastoni, no, because Bastoni is left-footed. I would have got.
Raphael Varane.
Yeah,
get past him if you can. It's Raphael Varane.
Yeah, let's go Johnny Evans.
Johnny Evans, 35-year-old prime athlete. Raphael Varane. I take it.
Varane.
Okay.
Varane.
Right, that's the two drafted from you guys who have been involved in it. Two drafted 11s. Shreyas, what's the keeper's name again? Fill me in on it.
Marmash Dishvili.
Yeah, whoever that guy is. We've got Dest, Schlotterbeck, Bremer, Dan Burn, Rice, Bellingham, Kudos, Leao, Dybala, and Mbappe. Chivy has Oblak, Frimpong, Varane, Bastoni, Lode, Kimmich, Enzo, De Jong, Olmo, Salah, and Osimhen, which I will create a graphic for. Get your votes in on the Instagram story. And we'll take it from there. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in, who's been interactive and getting the clubs in the chat. I appreciate every single one of you. loads of stuff going on with Manchester United at the minute. What day are we on? Tuesday. So we'll have a couple of members videos dropping. I think there's one on the Sandro Martinez dropping shortly. And there'll be one towards the end of the week to make up for last week. Another pre-record that's been done about the midfield and Ten Hag's system and how we can address it. And then loads of lives with transfer news and other things going on. The Nottingham Forest preview and obviously the live watch along as well. So yeah, I don't think there's anything I've missed. Make sure you drop us a follow on socials. Subscribe to the channel, Real Red Stock, if you can, please, if you haven't already. Leave a like on the video. And big thank you to Chivet and Treyas for jumping on with me. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.